Hey sixth grade, it's Mr. Hussey coming to you today. This is going to be Monday's lesson on writing expressions. Okay, today's lesson is going to be a little different. So I did upload this document, the backside of the document, and also the homework. However, the homework deals with like spinning a spinner, and I feel like this will help you more if we go over the lesson and make the lesson the homework. So for today, you only have to do the lesson with me. I'm going to give you time to practice problems during the lesson, so you'll be getting your practice in, and it will be like kind of lesson and homework in one. Okay, so you just have to send me that one document. Um, it would probably be better to take for everyone to take your notes today on this white line paper because I think it'll be simpler. But if anyone wants to print this out, you're free to. Okay? So writing expressions. Okay, so we got to think of like combining English and math today. All right. So it's really important to have our verbal skills up to par here and know how like the English language works, how sentences work in order to do this correctly. So we really have to be careful how we hear the word said in order to write it down correctly. Okay, let's start where there's certain parts of an expression. Okay, the letter is what we call the variable. The minus sign or the plus sign, multiplication or division would be what we call the operation. So if that was 4D times 9, then the times would be the operation. The number 9 is what we call a constant. The number in front of the letter is what we call a coefficient. That's like what a letter is multiplied by is called the coefficient. So this one's not a coefficient because there's no letter there, but this one is a coefficient because it's like 4 times d. All right. And then if you have like a couple things together like this can be called a term. So it's like a term within the expression. If they say, what's the term? A term is 4D. Okay, and then the whole thing together, like 4D minus 9, the whole entire thing is called your expression. Okay, now there's some words we need to know, like for addition. They're going to use some words like, I think we talked about briefly the other day, some. Okay, they might use the word more than. Please write these down. They might use the word in all. Okay, and there's many different examples, but when we come across those in our lesson, we'll talk about them. Okay, for subtraction, the big one that they like to use is difference. They'll also use words like fewer or less than when they want you to subtract. And we'll talk about what all this means in a minute, but right now I'm just kind of providing the legwork for you here. The word multiplication. The big word is product. Okay, so these first ones are like the big ones. You'll also see times. You might see the word like twice or even the word per. For division, the big word here is quotient. That's a word you're going to need to know moving forward in math. Every grade from here on out, if you don't know that, quotient means division. You might see the word split, divided by. Okay. And then if you, sometimes they'll use a word for the equal sign, and they'll use the word like is or the same. Okay, so there's other words than these, but these are some of your big words, and when we come across other words, we'll talk about those other words when they come up. Okay, so I'll also here if you want to take a quick, if you want to freeze this, if you printed out the notes and just want to see everything on there, you can pause this real quick. Here's the top. You can write down the top. Here's the middle. You can pause that real quick and write that down. And here's the bottom. You can pause that real quick and write that down. Okay? Oops, sorry. But I think it's going to help you more today to go over these notes with me. So, this is going to be your homework / classwork today. Even if you're filling out that sheet, do this as well. All right? So, number 1, let's write down 8 more than a number. Okay? 8 more than a number. Okay, so for this, what they want you to do is they want you to write an expression from those words that we give you. Okay, so I'm saying 8 more than a number, and you need to know that that means 8 more, so that would be plus 8, and then something, and a number, okay? The number might be x, the number might be n. I think I'm going to make it x. So 8 more than that thing. 8 more than a number, 8 more than that thing, which is a number. So there's your number, and it's 8 more than that. All right? Why don't you guys try number 2? All right, go ahead and give that one a shot, and pause the video until you go ahead and give it a shot. So 6 less than a number, all right? It's not this. All right? It's got to be 6 less than something, than that thing. So 6 less than a number, you'd have to take a number like, say, n. Last time I made it x. Now you may say, Mr. Hussey, that's not a number, it's a letter. Okay, I do see what you're saying, but we're talking about like 6 less than something. Okay, and when it says a number, they're not giving us the number, so we got to put a letter to represent that. So if it said like 6 less than 10, then we would do 10 minus 6, because it's 6 less than that thing, which would be 10. Okay, so n minus 6. Or if we want to make it consistent here, we'll go x minus 6. So it's not 6 minus x. That's wrong. It's x minus 6. That's where your English language skills come into play here. All right, number 3. Let's say the product of 5 and the product of 5 and the number is 20. The product of 5 and the number is 20. Okay, so in this one, you can pause it, try it if you want to. We added a few more components here. So first off, product means multiply. You need to get, so it might be a good idea. These ones are extremely important. You have to memorize these. Those have to be memorized. All right. So multiplication, the word product means to multiply. Okay. So when I say the product of 5 and a number, then we mean this. 5n, or in the old in elementary it was 5 times n, and then you started getting taught 5 dot n, right? And then some teachers, I like to, on my previous assignments, I've written it like this, 5 parentheses n. But when the 5 and the n are next to each other, that means times. So the product of 5 and a number is 20. The word is means equals. So if you come up here, when something equals, we use the word is. So the product of 5 and a number is 20 would be 5n equals 20. The product of 5 and a number is 20. Okay? Why don't you guys try this one? I should have capitalized that T at the beginning. The quotient, this T right here should have been capitalized. The quotient of a number and 3 is 2. All right, go ahead. Try that with your English language skills. Break it apart. Pause the video and give it a shot. All right, so the quotient means divide. If you look up at the top here, quotient means division. So the quotient of a number and 3, let's just stop there for a second. Let's stop right there. The quotient of a number and 3. So quotient means division. So we have a number and 3, okay? Not 3 and a number. This would be the quotient of 3 and a number. But when it says the quotient of a number and 3, it would be the quotient of a number and 3 division, right? Is 2. So that means it equals 2. Now some of you guys might have set it up like this. Okay, and that's right, but on your ABCD choices, when you hit a math test, you're always going to see it almost always written like that, because they want you to know that this bar in math, this fraction bar, means to divide. Okay, so that's not wrong, but why don't you write it like this as well? All right. Okay, all right, so let's try some more. Let's do a line here. And this time I'm going to give you the term. And why don't you write the sentence? So how would we write that? You don't have to pause this one. You can if you want to, but I'm just going to give you this one. This would say, because this means multiply right here, we'd have to say the product of 6 and a number is 18. The product of 6 and a number is 18. And now you can say, well, Mr. Hussey, what about some of those words we saw up there? Could I throw in some other words like maybe times? So Mr. Hussey, could I have said 6 times the number is 18? Yes, you could have. Or you could have said 6 times the number same 18. No, because that doesn't make any sense. You could say 6 times the number is the same as 18. You could say that. So you're going to want to make sure that it makes sense when you read it through the English language. Okay, let's try number 6. Give you guys, this one's going to be a little trickier. There's going to be multiple components of this. So let's try number 6. Okay, so go ahead and try to write that in words. All right. So for this one, the way you'll usually see this written is you'll see it written like this: 3 more 3 more than the quotient of a number and 2 is 10. Okay, so that's, please write that down. Even if you have it written in a different way, please write that down. That's the most common way you will see it written. So even if you have a different way, like you said, Mr. S.E., say you said x split by 2 plus 3 is 10. Yes, you're right, but they usually don't use the word plus. Okay, so this is the way you'll usually see it written on a test. So make sure you can understand the way I wrote it. 3 more than something. Okay, so I almost break it down like this. 3 more than, so 3 more than that thing. Okay, now that thing is the quotient of a number and 2. So I kind of break it here. So 3 more than the quotient of a number and 2 is 10, equals 10. Okay? All right, so I think I am gonna, I'm changing tunes here. I think I am gonna have you go to the student notes page. So this will be a little shorter video than usual. But what I'd like you to do on the student notes page, so most of us won't be using the homework today. Unless you really want to do that just for fun, then you can, or for practice, that's fine. But from here, okay, so I'd like you to flip over your page. And then what I'd like you to do is pause this video. And on your paper, I'd like you to write down numbers 4 through 11. Just write down the number, actually write down the number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, just write them down. You don't have to write all these words up here. I'm going to assume that you can pause the video and then try those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 8 problems. So you'll try those 8 problems on your paper. Okay, and then once you've done those, I want you to pause the video again. And try these 4 right here, the division ones. So we're skipping, there's a row here, we're going to skip the multiplication ones. We're going to come down here, pause the video again, do these 4, okay? And I'd like you to number these 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so your first numbers will be 4 through 11 on the back of your paper, right? Then 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll do those 4 problems. And then once you've done those, let me do the first one for you. K divided by 10 would look like this. Okay, so that would be labeled number 1. Then you do number 2, the quotient of x and 6. Okay, so that would be number 2, right? And then so on and so forth. Now, then you're going to pause that, and you're going to come down here. Make sure you can see these down here. I want you to try these 8. Okay, so for instance, so pause this, write down numbers 1 through 8. So you'll have at the top of your paper what, like 4 through 11, then 1 through 4, then 1 through 8, and you'll try these as practice. So 4 times W is 18, so it'd be like 4W equals 18. Okay, I want you to try those. And then I'm going to pause it again, and I might even upload the answers, not so that you can copy, that would be bad, that won't help you on your next quiz or test, but just so you can check to see if you're getting these right. So I think I will do that. I think I'll upload the answers, but I want you to pause this and do those problems on your own and then check them. Okay, guys, thanks. So that's all you got for today is you'll have to send me a picture of the front of your notes, right, that we did together. And then you'll have to send me a picture of the back where you did those problems. It would be a total of what you got, like 8 plus 4 plus 8 more. So it'd be a total of like 20 problems on there, 20 practice problems. You'll send me that. And that will be it for Monday. Okay, so I know I'm uploading this early. Sorry if you guys are stressed out. I know you got a lot of things for different classes. Just reach out to me if you're a little stressed out and we can figure things out. Okay, I don't want to do that to you. Don't want you to feel stressed. This is for Monday. And hope you guys have a great weekend. God bless you. Let me know if you have any questions.